the one change that took this Shopify brand from $40,000 a month to $150,000 a month in just 3 months. Now, most Shopify brands that I talk to have the exact same problem. They hit a certain point, maybe it's 50K or 250K, or maybe it's 500K a month, and then growth just stops. Now, this brand was doing everything right. They were running ads, they were posting on social, they were sending basic emails, but their revenue was stuck at $40,000 to $50,000 a month. And then they made one change that took their business to $150,000 a month in just 90 days. It wasn't launching a new product, it wasn't hiring influencers, it definitely wasn't spending money on unprofitable ads. Now, what they did was completely restructure their email marketing strategy based off of customer lifecycle stages. Instead of just blasting the exact same message to everyone, they segmented people based off of their purchase history and their engagement levels. But it goes beyond just email. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how we structured their retention system, the segments we created, and the one question that we used to finally break through their revenue plateaus. Now, before I dive in, my name is Derek and I'm the founder of Ascend Media. We're a email marketing agency that specifically helps 7- and 8-figure D2C brands increase their profitability through strategic email and SMS marketing. Now, most brands treat email marketing as an afterthought, something you do because you're supposed to do it and not because it's actually a profit center. But here's the reality. For established D2C brands, your email list is the most valuable asset you own. Problem that most brands make is one of three things. Either they're treating all of their subscribers the exact same way, they are focusing on short-term revenue at the expense of deliverability and list health, or 3, they're creating generic emails that just straight up don't speak to specific customer needs. So let's go ahead, let's dive in here. All right, so part 1 is the lifecycle segmentation strategy. The reality is not all subscribers are in the exact same stage of their buying cycle. So when you send the same email to everyone, you're missing out on a ton of opportunities to connect with people based off of where they're actually at in their customer journey. So here's how we segment. The first segment is first-time prospects. These are people who have subscribed, but they haven't actually made a purchase yet. So most brands make the mistake here of just hammering these people, just going to town on these people with as many discounts and promotions and everything, and treating them the same as any other customer. That's not the right way to approach it. What we do instead is what we call a brand indoctrination sequence. This is basically a 5 to 7 series sequence. And what you want to do here is provide your initial offer. If you're using a pop-up, you want to provide whatever you promised in the pop-up. So if it's 10% off, if it's a free guide, if it's $10 off, whatever it is, that's the first thing. The second is introducing your brand and differentiators. This is really important too, because there's so many brands selling very similar things in the marketplace. What makes you different? Third is showcasing your best-selling products with social proof. These are people who have never heard of your brand before, most likely. So let's see if we can introduce them to some of your best-selling products. The fourth is just addressing common objections that people have before they actually arise. This is really going to be when they're actually having the objections anyways. The fifth is providing value-first content based off of whatever product category you are in. And then finally, you can get into deeper offers if you want to do that and if that's something that is cool with your brand. Now, the results of this ends up being a system that generated this client $20,000 a month just from this series alone. The second segment that we focus on, and this is where most brands completely drop the ball, to be honest, is once someone buys. Usually what's going to happen is they just get dumped and they're added into a general list or something, and they get absolutely nothing specific. It's like you get the credit card from someone and you're like, all right, cool, we out, we're done. It's not a great feeling for the customer. And honestly, it's not a great way to treat people either, right? Think about how that would go in a real life situation. And I think a note here is a lot of people tend to overcomplicate the online system. Instead of thinking it of a human to human interaction, it's just oh yeah, we're sending an email, or this person's an email or a customer or whatever, but it's not hey, this person's a human being, which is the most important thing, right? I mean, hopefully maybe they're at this point. Anyways, what do we do here? So what we do is we implement a first 60 days nurture sequence that confirms their product choice was the right one. This is effectively just reducing buyer's remorse, educates them on how to maximize the value from their purchase. Again, this is such a missed opportunity, especially if you have if you're selling supplements or anything that requires any sort of their input or them doing a thing to get a result. People screw things up all the time, right? So the reality is, if you can give them a clear path of here's how to use this thing to get the best results, it will work so much better for the customers. It'll reduce your customer service lines. There will be And not only that, is people are going to be a lot happier as well with the product. So you're going to get a lot more loyalty and a lot more referrals down the line from these people. The third thing is complementary products. So just like upselling, cross-selling, that type of thing. Like, hey, you bought this might be helpful for you. Again, you want to make it as personalized as possible here. And then the fourth thing, incentivizing a second purchase within 60 days. This is super critical. Data shows that customers who make a second purchase within 60 days are 3 times more likely to actually become loyal customers. So bonus here, for this client, we actually segmented based off of the desired outcome that people were looking for. And then we educated people on how their purchase and how their products would help them achieve that desired outcome. We also highlighted some other products that would help them do the same thing. More on that in just a moment. It's a bigger section, so I'm gonna dive into it in just a minute. Segment 3 is active repeat customers. Again, these people are gold. These are the people who purchase multiple times within the last 90 days. And most brands don't do anything with these people. They just keep sending the same promo emails as everyone else. And they keep sending the same emails. But the reality is a lot of that content is not going to be relevant for people who have purchased multiple times. If they've purchased a product 3 times, they don't need an email saying how great the product is. They already know it is. So what do we do here? Well, instead of just blasting everyone the same message, what we do is we create VIP specific campaigns to acknowledge their loyalty, makes people feel special, early access to new products, special bundle offers based off of their purchase history, referral incentives. So this is where you can start bringing in loyalty, and you can do that after they purchase twice as well. Loyalty, referrals, that type of thing. You don't want to ask someone to refer their friends or family if they haven't even got their product yet. That's a huge mistake I see brands make. So this strategy increased purchase frequency among repeat purchasers and also reduced their unsubscribe rate, because at the end of the day, if people just keep getting emails that are irrelevant, it's not going to be very likely that they're going to stay subscribed. Part 2, the behavioral trigger system. This is really, really important. Now, these are automated emails that fire based off of a customer's specific actions. These are going to help to reduce your CAC, handle objections, convert prospects, and nurture customers. So the first trigger you're going to want to look at is the enhanced abandoned cart sequence. This takes average cart recovery rates, which is like kind of industry average around like 10 to 15%, and increases them to 25 to 30%. What most abandoned cart sequences look like is, hey, did you forget something? Hey, your cart misses you. Your cart is lonely. Here's 20% off. This is super annoying. It's not really handling people's objections. So instead, here's how to make it better. The key differentiators here is we'll use 4 to 10 emails, not just 1 to 2 emails. The timing is really critical for you to test. And each email is actually handling different objections. So it has a different psychological approach. This is kind of what it looks like. Email 1, service-based, or it's a reminder. It's just kind of checking in. Email 2, social proof. Why other people love this product. Email 3 is scarcity or urgency, if applicable. Again, if you have like limited stock or time-sensitive offers. Email 4 is objection handling. This is going to be more specific to your brand, and this is addressing kind of common concerns people have if they already decided, yeah, I want this product. It's like, well, something's on the fence. Like maybe it's, if you're selling frozen goods, maybe it's, are things gonna like be okay? I've never ordered anything online, for like frozen goods. Is it gonna be okay? Is it gonna arrive like thawed out? Is it safe? All of those kind of like common objections that people will have are things that you can handle here. This should say email 5. And basically this is an incentive if needed. If you want to add a small discount or free shipping or something like that, you can add that into email 5, and you can progressively kind of like get a little bit more aggressive as you move further along. But this is kind of like the first 5 emails we would start with. For one of our apparel clients, we actually ended up implementing this and increased their abandoned cart conversion rates by 124%. Okay, so trigger 2, this is the post-purchase sequence. The moment after a purchase is when your customer's attention is the absolute highest, yet most brands completely drop the ball and send a basic order confirmation and literally nothing else. Most brands, it's like, hey, thanks, want to leave a review. This is sad. So here's how you make it better. What we want to do is we want to implement a strategic post-purchase sequence that, number 1, confirms the order with excitement, not just transactional language. Number 2 is sets expectations for delivery and what happens next. Number 3 is providing some preemptive customer service FAQs. This is really helpful, and it shows like you're really on the ball and you actually give a shit about your customers. Number 4 is it educates on product use or care before it actually arrives. 5 would be recommending logical next products based off of what they bought. And then 6 is requesting reviews at the optimal time, when they've actually had time to experience the product, not immediately after it's shipped or 2 days after it's shipped or 1 day after it arrives. You want to make sure people have actually had an opportunity to use the product first. Trigger 3 is the browse abandonment recovery. Now, when someone looks at a specific product but doesn't add to cart, most brands do nothing. What we want to do is we capture this intent with the browse abandonment emails that look something like this. They're going to reference the specific products that people viewed. They're going to provide additional information that helps to overcome a certain hesitation. They're going to show additional related products they might prefer, because at this stage in the cycle, if someone's just hit a product page, they may or may not actually want that product, so they might need to see other things. The fourth is including social proof on those certain product categories. Now, part 3 here is the campaign strategy that actually improves list health instead of killing it. The biggest mistake here that we see brands make with campaigns is over-mailing your list with a discount-focused approach on promotions. This approach is effectively going to train your customers to only buy on discounts. It reduces your margins on every single sale. It burns out your list and decreases your engagement over time. It can hurt your deliverability as that engagement drops as well. Now, instead, what we implement is called the value first campaign calendar that alternates between content 1, which is value-based emails. This makes up about 60% of the sends. This is going to be educational content related to your product or product category. This could be behind the scenes. This could be user-generated content or customer stories. This could be product education, use cases, anything like that. Lifestyle content. There's so many different things that you can do here. What you want to understand first is your customer, and a lot of brands don't. So diving deep into this and understanding like what would actually be valuable or interesting to my customers. Now, I'm going to touch on this in just a moment, but take this to the next level by using the one question that I mentioned in just a moment. Now, content type 2 is the promotional email. This is about 40% of the send volume. This is going to be new product launches. It's going to be exclusive collections, collaborations. It's going to be strategic sale emails. Usually we're going to want to kind of like limit that depending on the brand. Some brands have a sale every month. Some do it, twice a year. Some only do it once a year. Some do multiple sales in a month. Kind of just depends on your brand and what you're feeling. And then the fourth thing here is bundled offers that kind of maintain margin while also providing value to people and giving people what they really want. Again, if you're collecting information about people's desired outcome, this is where you can learn a lot more and be like, okay, cool. These products all are solving that desired outcome. Here's a bundle, right? The results of this, now we use this strategy across every single one of our clients, and they all experience higher open rates, better deliverability, increased engagement, fewer unsubscribes, and ultimately more revenue. Now, I've left one of the last things and one of the most overlooked things last here, but it is by no means the least important. It's actually probably one of the most important. Okay, part 4. This is the one question. And no, it's not, will you marry me? It is, what are you looking for from our soup? Followed by a multiple choice selection. This is important. It needs to be multiple choice. So what did we find here? Well, what we found after doing this is that their marketing messages were all wrong. They were talking all about how their soup was vegan and that it was convenient, but what people actually cared about, if you go back to this slide, people actually cared about was improved gut health. That's what they really cared about. So what we did is we took that data, we started segmenting people out based off of their answers, and we did that in the welcome series, in the abandonment flows, and in campaigns. We also shared it with their paid ads team, who then created ads based off of the gut health pain point. And the results just speak for themselves, all because we asked one simple question. Okay, so this framework has helped dozens of 7- and 8-figure D2C brands triple their revenue without increasing ad spend. Most brands just completely neglect the pop-up, email capture, and that whole piece of the strategy. So if you do want to dive deeper into how to squeeze more juice out of your current traffic and ultimately convert more of your website visitors into email subscribers and purchasers, go ahead and check out this video. Now, if you prefer for us to just handle this all for you, we can do that. You can click the link below and schedule a call. Thanks so much and have a great day.